What's up, my friend? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited. Doors are open to the Feel Better Journey, my group coaching and mentoring program. If you've been on the fence and you've been thinking about jumping in, I'm telling you right now is the time. This is your round. Go to the show notes right now. There's a link to sign up. You guys, I know so many of us are struggling. I know we look like we've got it all together on the outside, but internally, we're on the struggle bus. We don't know what's next in our life. We want clarity. We feel stuck. We know there's gotta be more, but we don't know really what it is. It's like nailing Jello to the wall. If that's where you're at, jump into the program. And I know if you feel guilty for prioritizing yourself, you're not alone. A lot of us do. But you guys, just imagine how much peace you could have if you actually journeyed through some soul healing, some spiritual healing, some emotional and mental health healing in the next 2 months. I mean, just imagine. And you guys, it's not a ton of work. There's a private podcast with fun, bite-sizable audios. They're not very long. You get those every week, and there's a workbook if you want to do it. Some people do it, some people don't. Some people find the workbook very helpful. Others, they just come to the live Zoom coaching call where we apply this stuff. We don't just talk about stuff. We actually apply it to our lives. You guys, some of us are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Some of us want more out of this life. And if you're in that category, jump into the Feel Better Journey. You guys, our community is amazing. It's sacred and it's fun. We have a great time. If you have questions, you can of course email me at hello@dannysumner.com. But if you're feeling that tug to really make 2024 be a growth and healing year, the Feel Better Journey is a great place to give you some clarity and confidence and to not be so controlled by your emotions or by your negative thought life or the people and things in your life that are just controlling you. You deserve to make your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health, all of it like your priority. And I want to help you. I want to walk through it with you. I love that you're a faithful listener to the podcast. I'm so grateful for this community. It's one of the reasons that I created it. I literally, by working with you guys over the last couple of years, that's how we built this program for our listeners, for our people. So jump in. I know some of us are in the messy middle of our stories and we just want a little bit more clarity. And I know the Feel Better Journey can help. Jump in the show notes now. Click the link and sign up or go to www.dannysumner.com/the Feel Better Journey and I'll see you inside the program. So in today's episode, I am talking about our evening routine. And listen, so let me back up. When I got sober 13 years ago, one of the most important things that I began to implement in my life was a morning routine. And just having a rhythm and a routine of self-care and soul care and spiritual care and a little bit of physical care, although I'm a recovering athlete who was forced to exercise. So now I have an adverse reaction anytime I feel pressure to exercise. It's hilarious. I need to do some therapy around it. But anyways, right? And mental health care, all of these things. So my morning routine, I have lived and literally died by the last 13 years or so. And shortly in a couple episodes, I'm going to share my morning routine. And if you're sitting here thinking oh gosh, I don't have a morning routine. It's coffee, get up, shower, and go to work. Well, that's your morning routine. And if it's working for you, God bless you. Keep doing what's working for you. But when things aren't working and when you know your day, you're not thriving, that's when we begin to kind of take a step back, find some self-awareness, and begin to implement the things that help us and put up boundaries with the things that don't help us, right? And you guys, it's an ebb and flow. My routines have changed throughout the years, but today I wanted to talk about my evening routine. I don't think enough of us, honestly, really focus on our evening routine to set us up for the next day. Now listen, I'm all about tools and strategies and all of these hacks to help myself thrive because you guys know I've talked about it on the podcast. I have ADD. I struggle with seasonal depression. I struggle with anxiety, all of these things that I'm constantly contending with. And let me just tell you, I've learned over the years, these things in my life are not curses. In fact, I have found that the harder things that I struggle with, like my seasons of anxiety or my ADHD and all of those things, they've become a teacher in my life. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more in the episode. But I also am going to share my evening routine in hopes that maybe it can just spark some interest to help you set up an evening routine. And if you're like, Danny, I'm locked and loaded, I've got a great evening routine, that's fantastic. I'm so excited for you because I really think that a healthy evening routine and everybody's evening routine will look different. And trust me, I'm not going to say put your phone down by 7 p.m. and no lights and, no technology and all the things. Like, yes, in an ideal world, that's wonderful. But I don't know about you. My evenings aren't ideal. There's a lot going on in my household, and I can't just shut down and drink chamomile tea and be in silence for 2 hours without any screens going on. My kids are doing homework and all the things. So anyway, so this is a shame-free zone. I actually have this worksheet that I do every morning. It's like my to-do list. It's my planner that I created, and it literally says shame-free planner. Like, this is my shame-free zone with all of these things, because I think some of us, we pile on shame or we feel shame around not being as productive as we want to be or not doing all the things that we need to do. And a lot of us who are driven and, are recovering perfectionists, or maybe not recovering yet, but we're still falling into the perfectionist place in life, we need some help. And so all the tools and all the strategies out there that can help, I'm all for it. And so I hope my strategies for my evening routine bless you guys. And I hope it helps you a little bit. And no matter where you're at, just know, hey, you can do better tonight, or you can try to implement some things that can help you tonight and just try it out. So that's my intro. I'll see you guys in the episode. Welcome to a Holy Mess podcast. All right, my friends, we all know life can be so difficult and painful at times, especially when we're carrying grief or loss, or wrestling with shame about our past, anxiety about our future, or frankly, like we are just not enough. But there has to be so much more for us. There is hope and joy, peace, love, fun, purpose, and a reason that you, my friend, are on this planet. Let's partner with God so you can be who He created you to be as you wrestle through and trudge through your mess. Hi, I'm Danny, a recovering alcoholic, a mom, a wife, a mentor, and dust. We are only here for a moment. Let's live like it. I'm just like you. I'm a holy mess most days. Actually, every day. Let's have some fun and laugh while trudging through our mess. This stuff doesn't need to be dry and boring. Let's dig in. Okay, like I said, in a few episodes, I'm going to share my morning routine, but this is my evening routine. And here is the deal. A lot of my evenings are different, right? Because my kids play sports or just there's different events. So I wish I could say, every night by 7:30, the dishes are done, my computer's put away, and I start a fireplace, and I read a good book, and I'm drinking chamomile tea, and all the things, right? Well, the reality is most nights we're eating dinner at 7:30, and the dogs are going crazy, and there's a zillion things. And I know they say to shut down 2 hours before you're heading to bed, but good luck. Who can do that unless we go to bed at 2 a.m.? And if 2 a.m. is your bedtime, good luck to you. Congratulations. That is not my bedtime. I'm waking up around 3:30 or 4 with anxiety, so I need some sleep, okay? No, that's not true. I don't wake up every night at 3:30 or 4, but some nights I do. So here's the thing with my evening routine. So there's 3 things I do no matter what. Come heck or high water, I'm doing these 3 things every evening so that I end the day on a really high and peace-filled note. And yes, I totally get it. If I could turn off my screens early and not sleep with my cell phone on my nightstand and all of these other things that could really help me with sleep and thrive, that would be amazing. But it doesn't happen every night. And I'm all about doing the things that actually help and move the needle. And you guys, the more things that we can have little victories in, it's easier to have more victories as we build upon it, right? So there's this thing called habit stacking. I don't know if you're familiar with it, or maybe you're more familiar with it than I am, but habit stacking is all about when you want to try a new habit, stack it on top of an already existing habit, right? So for instance, if you want to start flossing your teeth, the best time to floss your teeth is right after you brush your teeth, because I guarantee you, all of you are brushing your teeth morning and night. I know my people are brushing their teeth morning and night. So after you brush your teeth, if you want to start the routine of flossing, do it for 10 days right after you brush your teeth. Set an alarm, set a reminder, put a Post-it, and then before too much time passes, it'll become routine that when you brush your teeth and all of a sudden you're flossing your teeth. Now, listen, I'm not a big flosser, so maybe I shouldn't be giving dental advice, although I've only had like 3 cavities my whole life, but that's genetics. I can't take credit for that at all. Okay, I'm digressing. Let me tell you my 3 non-negotiables every evening. And honestly, it has really moved the needle and set me up for better days and better evenings of sleep. So my first thing that I started doing a few years ago, and you guys, I got to tell you, this may have changed the game for me in productivity, especially if you struggle with ADHD or ADD or any of the things, if you're really highly distractible or, shiny ball, squirrel, right? Like different things distract you. So before you end your afternoon or evening of work or whatever you do, pull out a blank piece of paper and set yourself up for victory tomorrow, right? And what do I mean by that? So if I'm in the middle of writing, if I'm in the middle of a writing project, maybe I have a podcast episode that came to me in the afternoon and I'm starting to jot down notes, but I didn't have time to record it. It's going on the top of my list. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to do that podcast episode tomorrow on morning routines or on evening routines or whatever. Like basically you put a bookmark for where you were today and all the things where you ended the day and what you want to start your day with tomorrow. And you may say, oh, Danny, I've got a to-do list and I've got my calendar and I get it. I totally get it. But I'm telling you, if you write down 3 things that you know you need to accomplish tomorrow on a blank piece of paper, when you walk into your office or wherever your space is, it's going to remind you of the priorities that you had yesterday that you didn't really get to or that you need to finish. So like, for instance, today I was supposed to call my mom's doctor again and I didn't get to it. So that's on the top of my list for tomorrow. And it's going to remind me of what else I need to do. So basically, you just list out your day tomorrow. And if you have a meeting at 2:00, like list it out, right? So that you know the second you walk into your office or your workspace, you're set, you're ready to go. Even list out, it really helps if you kind of know your meals. And I just started meal planning and all that. And trust me, this is not a productivity podcast because I'm not going there, but maybe I should because I've become uber productive lately, even within my ADHD brain. Anyways, okay. Super, super helpful to list out if you're having lunch with somebody or if you need to meal prep for a meal or, because so much of our energy is wasted trying to remember what we're supposed to do, where if we just kind of know what's next, it's fantastic. And if you just have it on one piece of paper or you put it on your planner or you put it in your calendar or whatever you need to do. But a couple things for me is I kind of plan out, okay, these are the meals. This is what I need to do for the kids. This is what I need to do for Gary. This is what I need to do overall for the house or for just to make our life function. These are the meetings I need to have. This is the creative space in which I need. And then I also try to schedule in and put in a workout or a walk and also recently we got a sauna a few months ago and I've built that in. It's become a habit now. And I'll talk about it in my morning routine, but my sauna has been a game changer for me, especially for some autoimmune stuff that I'm wrestling with. And so I'm super grateful. So I put all of that kind of down as the things I need to get done. And if things are calendared, I put those there. And then I can figure out the empty spaces where I need to get everything else done. And the reason I do this too is because then at 10:00 at night, I'm not trying to catalog in my brain like, oh, don't forget to call mom's doctor or don't forget, oh, I've got a meal prep for that meal. Like I actually have kind of a plan for tomorrow. I think that to have a good day today, we need to spend 15 minutes yesterday planning for it. And so I hope that makes sense. That has been a number one game changer for me is list out my day tomorrow. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, I know you've heard about my program. I know you've heard the testimonies. You guys, if life keeps biting you in the ass every year, every decade, I think it's your soul's way of saying, I want more. I want help. And also, my friend, I think it's God's way of saying, I have more for you. If you keep having the same reoccurring problems, maybe different people are involved, but you know deep in your bones, something's got to be worked out inside of you. Jump into this round of the Feel Better journey. The link is in the show note. If you are ready and not wanting perfectionism or self-sabotage or self-judgment to control your life any longer, let's go. We have a few seats left and this round is shaping up to be our best one yet. I am so excited and I would be so honored to go down this sacred spiritual healing journey with you. My friend, what are you waiting for? Hit the show notes now and sign up. or go to www.dannysumner.com/the Feel Better Journey. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Okay, number 2, and this is kind of a fun one. Figure out what makes you feel special in the evening. What is something that can help you calm down and make you feel special, right? So maybe it is the chamomile tea. Maybe it's a certain mug that you drink the tea in. Maybe it's lighting a candle. Maybe it's turning off the bright lights and turning on the lamps, right? Maybe it is drawing yourself a warm bath. Maybe it's reading a nice book, or maybe it's going on a walk, like doing something that rejuvenates your soul, right? So you're not just so frantic from one thing to the next. And trust me, I've been there for so many times in my life, and doing something special in my evening really, really sets the tone to kind of remind myself that I'm taking care of myself and that I'm a soulful, spirit-filled creature who needs tending to, right? We're not spiritual robots. We're not emotional robots. We're not mental robots. Like, we've got to take care of ourselves. And so figuring out what is one special thing that you can do to help yourself settle down. And hey, if you're like, Danny, I can actually take an hour for those special things, by all means, go for it. But if you only have 5 to 10 minutes, just grab yourself a nice cup of tea, figure something out. And I would spend some time brainstorming what it is for you that makes you feel special, that calms you down a bit. And I'm telling you, that can really be a big game changer, especially when we're learning to prioritize ourselves and we really want to be who we were created to be. And in order to do that, you guys, we've got to get filled up. We've got to find out tools and strategies to nurture ourselves and to take care of ourselves. And if you've done any inner healing work or therapy or anything like that, like, our job is to nurture the little kid inside, right? They talk about this inner child stuff. Do we actually have a little kid inside of us? No, but we've got to nurture ourselves and to take care of ourselves. And there's no shame in that. All right. And then the third and final thing that is a non-negotiable for me in my evening routine is I have to name one thing that I did well today. And this one, you guys, this one can be tough, but I'm telling you, it is so important, because usually we get to the end of the night and we start critiquing ourselves, or anxiety creeps in and we remember that conversation we had at lunchtime and we wish we didn't say this or that, right? And all of the things. But I think it's really important that we pause and that you can even make it a spiritual moment, and you can put your hand over your heart and you can say, you know what I did well today? And then fill in the blank. If you want bonus points, you can go look yourself in the mirror and do that, but that's kind of tough. But I'm telling you, if you can just end the day in a place of gratefulness for yourself and for the things that you did well today, and maybe it was you paused and you didn't react and snap at your spouse. Maybe you paused and you were more responsive and you stayed in your mature adult place. Or maybe you hit your goal with the amount of water you wanted to drink. It doesn't need to be a huge thing like you went out and saved the world. It can be something very small where it's just significant to you and you can see a little bit of growth. You guys, it's really healthy to acknowledge these things, because as we're learning to continue to grow into the human that we were created to be, we've got to continue to fight to be able to nurture ourselves. And you guys, not all of us were taught how to nurture our souls in childhood. We definitely weren't taught it in high school or college life takes it out of us, right? So that's it. That's my 3 suggestions for your evening routine. Now, listen, you can do 10 more things. That's wonderful. But these are my 3 non-negotiables for my evening routine. Again, number 1, I'm listing out my day for tomorrow and I'm bookmarking what I need to complete that I didn't get to today, right? So I'm putting that on a piece of paper, or I'm putting it in my planner, or I'm putting it in my phone. And it's really the first thing that I look at when I get my day going. And then number 2, I'm doing something special for myself in the evening, whether that's a cup of tea, a nice stroll by myself or with my dogs or with my husband or with one of my kids, or maybe I'm drawing myself a bath or going in the hot tub or lighting a candle, or even just turning down the bright lights in the house and just turning on some lamps or lighting a fire, like doing something that just makes you feel cozy and home and special. And then lastly, number 3, name one thing you did well and celebrate it. You guys, the world's on fire and we're not awesome at celebrating ourselves And when we're struggling, especially, or if you want to implement change in your life, I'm telling you, when you can hold on to and be grateful for and celebrate the little victories that you did today, oh my gosh. All right, I hope this episode blessed you. And email me if you have other things that you do in your evening routine that you think I could start implementing in my life as well. I'm always looking for different things and strategies in my life. I'm so grateful you're here. I hope you have a great day and I hope you sleep well tonight. Let me know how implementing some of these strategies helped you. All right, you guys, God bless you. Take care. Hello, my friend. If this episode blessed you, made you laugh, or triggered you, hey, that's growth. Please do me a favor and share this with a friend. And if you feel led, please leave a written review for the show. That really helps us out. Don't forget you are in good company if you're feeling more broken than you'd like to admit. And you are more loved than you can ever imagine. Have a great week. See you next time.